week, but I love what I do. Frustratingly, some days, customers only enter the shop to shelter from the rain, vaguely browsing the merchandise and commenting on the delightful smells, but not actually buying anything. Sheila, who ran the wool shop next door, finally closed her doors last month, unable to compete with the huge bargain discount store that opened up a few streets away next to the bus station. "It won't be the same quality wool," she lamented. I'd bumped into her in town when I'd closed up for the day, and we were grabbing a coffee. "That cheap wool isn't good to knit with, but I guess people like a bargain," she sighed. "Surely that's good news for you," I suggested. "If the customers start itching with the cheap stuff, they'll return to buy from you. In fact, that could be your selling point. You could make a big sign to have on the market stall. 'Buy Sheila's wool, don't risk a rash.'" She spluttered her coffee out and laughed. Sheila was selling her wool online, as well as at the twice-weekly markets every Tuesday and Saturday, which, by all accounts, was being well received. "I just don't like the cold weather. I'm such a wimp." With her pale skin and slight build, she looked as though she might blow over in a heavy gust of wind, so I was impressed with her determination to keep a business going in the outdoor market. "I might be joining you if things carry on as they are," I told her. "I can't keep going for much longer with the high rents and hardly any customers through the door. Times are hard, that's for sure, but there's always a way to survive," she said, undaunted by the new way she was selling her wool. "You just have to diversify a little. I've got a Facebook page too. You should get one," she advised. "You know, you really are an inspiration," I told her before we departed, "and that might not be a bad idea." I guess I was missing out not being on Facebook, but I didn't want to be too visible on social media, as you never know who might be looking at your profile. "See you around. Take care of yourself," she said. "And remember, there are always stalls on the market for rent, you know, should the worst come to the worst." I pop out for a takeaway coffee, one of the few luxuries I allow myself, throwing the hood up on my jacket as a steady drizzle falls down onto the glistening pavement. I maneuver around a couple, huddled beneath a large red and white golf umbrella, who are looking at a window display of a famous author's latest crime novel in Waterstones before heading inside. The inclement weather means there are hardly any shoppers out today, and some of the market stall holders stand under their canvas stalls, including Sheila, stoically sticking it out in the hope of a sale. It's late June, and despite yesterday's sunshine, the rain shows no sign of stopping. I think of Sheila's comments and wonder how long it will be before I am joining the market traders, shivering on a stall beside Sheila throughout the winter months in the hope of selling some goods. I guess the shop could do with some serious promotion, maybe a full-page ad in the local paper. But then, you never know who might be reading. A short while later, I'm back inside the shop with my caramel latte, pondering my future, when I'm jolted from my thoughts by the tinkle of the doorbell. The door is made of wood and glass, in keeping with the Dickensian-style windows, which wouldn't look out of place in one of those old-fashioned sweet shops. "Morning," says the red-haired lady in a smart trench coat who enters the shop. She places her umbrella in a stand near the door. She's probably someone else sheltering from the rain with no intention of buying anything. "Good morning," I say brightly, before commenting on the bad weather outside. "I know, it's awful. I'm glad to be inside. Oh, these are pretty." She lifts a gift set of tangerine soaps and hand cream, wrapped in cellophane and tied with a cream bow, from a wooden stand near the door. "It's my daughter's birthday soon. She loves the smell of tangerines." I open a sample pot of the hand cream and offer to smooth some over her hands, and she closes her eyes as she inhales the scent. It's a proud moment for me when I introduce people to my merchandise, especially when they give a positive reaction. "That really is delightful. My hands feel so soft," she tells me gratefully as she stretches out her hands, showing off her perfectly manicured nails that are painted the same shade as her hair. I smile to myself, thinking